We just wrapped up a 3-day challenge for one of our clients, and we generated $117,000 in only 5 days. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what we did, some of the biggest takeaways from the whole experience, so that if you have a challenge coming up, if you are working on your own challenge, you'll be able to learn from this and implement a few things that will allow you to make your next challenge or your first one bigger and much better. So we generated $117,000 in 5 days. It was a 2.5K offer, and we had a payment plan option of 995. So people could either pay 2.5K or they could pay three-part payments of 995. So what we found with the payment plan options is usually 50-50. 50% of people would pay the 995 option and 50% of people would take the 2.5K option. So if you don't have a payment plan right now, you're probably missing out on about 30% additional sales that you could be getting. So if you have a 3K offer, a 5K offer, 6K, 7K, you should have some type of payment plan option because like I said, what we found is 50% will take us up on the payment plan and 50% will pay full pay. So this was a basic 3-day challenge funnel. We drove traffic from ads, email, and social media. We drove all the traffic to the free challenge opt-in page. And then as soon as they complete the challenge opt-in page, they go to a survey page. So we didn't used to use this before. We just started using this recently. And the whole point of using this survey page is to ask them some questions to determine what type of buyer that these prospects are going to be. Because if you're able to identify the qualities that all your buyers have, then you can attract more people like that into the ecosystem. So you can just attract more buyers. And if you leave everything the same, you'll be able to still get more revenue for the leads that you're getting because you're getting more quality leads now. So as soon as someone opts in, we encourage them to fill out a survey form. And how we anchor this form is we tell them that we are going to be sharing workbooks in a Telegram group. And the only way for them to get access to the Telegram group is by them completing this form. And we have a 60% submission rate on this form. So out of every 100 people who opt in, about 600 people would actually fill out the form. So now when the campaign ends, we can now look back and look at who bought and look at the common traits between those who purchased and then now try and attract those type of people into the ecosystem for the clients. So we do this whenever we have a free challenge funnel just because we want to get more quality leads for subsequent challenges. So as soon as someone fills out the survey, they land on the OTO page, and that's basically just the VIP upgrade page. For this client, it was a $47 VIP option, and the whole idea behind this was just to try and get these prospects to get extra calls with the client. And then we added some things like access to the replays. So that's one key thing that I felt helped us increase our take rate here because we only gave VIPs access to the replays. And then we also gave them access to some giveaways and some prizes. So that was how we differentiated VIP from general admission. And we had about 51 people or so grab the VIP ticket. So we'll get to start in a bit. Then once they purchase the VIP tickets, the next thing is they join the Telegram group. So this is where we will do most of the communication. So we'll communicate via email and via SMS, but we'd like to get them inside of a WhatsApp or a Telegram group or a Discord or a circle, whatever works for you. We'd like to get them into a Telegram group just so we have multiple touch points to communicate with them and just so they have more ways for them to make micro commitments. And so it's easier to reach out to them too as well because we had people DMing us during the challenge asking questions. And the only reason we were able to DM us and ask questions easily is because we had a Telegram group and people could just click on our names and then DM us to ask questions. So it was a 3-day challenge, a bonus day 4, where the client invited one of our mentors to do a session with them and then do a repitch in our place. And this worked well because I believe we got an additional 10 or so sales, 5 to 10 sales by just doing this. And it's always good to have somebody else come and pitch for you because it's a different face. The person will have a different story, it's a different perspective, and that will get people who have been consuming your content from day 1, day 2, day 3. That will help them actually join the program if it's a fresh, different face and a fresh, different perspective. And then we close the cart. So we started the challenge on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we closed the cart on Sunday. So that's why it's 5 days. So in terms of stats now, we spent $19,000 in ads. We generated 3,600 leads. Our cost per lead was $5, which is really good. we sold 51 VIP ticket sales. So for the VIP tickets, we sold 51 of that. That was a 1.4% conversion rate. That made us about $2,000 extra that we could spend on ads and recoup some of the ad spend back. So we'll probably add an OTO offer and then we had an order bump just to try and increase the AOV on this. Then we sold 47 spots in the mentorship and that was a 1.3% conversion rate. So the cash collected here was 80 grand. The revenue is 117,500 and the profit for the client was $98,000 and the return on ad spend for this client was 6.1x. So for every $1 she put in, she got back 6x, which is really good, especially for free challenges. So in terms of key takeaways here, one of the first things we noticed was the show up rate for this was very, very low. So we had about a 10% show up rate for this. And that's very low compared to like a paid challenge or compared to a webinar. So one of the things that we did to try and increase the show up rate was to create something called indoctrination emails. So indoctrination emails are basically emails where you try and overcome the prospect's beliefs before they attend the actual challenge. And then prior to that, you are sending them to either the Telegram community or you are reminding them to upgrade to VIP. So that's basically what we tried to do to increase the show up rate. And then we did reminder ads too as well. So that's how we're able to push the show up rate high a bit. But you will notice with free challenges, majority of the people in the industry get about a 10 to 15% show up rate. And we did around that range. But to try and push this even further, we had indoctrination emails going out that were breaking beliefs. We did reminder ads, and that was pretty much it for that. So another thing to note here is most of the teaching in the actual challenge was not actual practical stuff that he could implement. So maybe only about 20% of the challenge content was actual practical implementation. We were really, really hammered in on trying to overcome those beliefs, trying to get the prospects to believe that they can actually do the thing. Because in this case, one of the objections we were getting was, I don't like sales. That was one thing that we really, really tried to overcome. Another one is this is too complicated. So we tried to make it as simple as possible, show them how simple this is. There were a lot of interviews with the client's students, the client's mentors, the client's coaches. We had so many case studies and interviews going. And the whole point of this was just to try and show them how much simple this was and how easy it is for them to actually implement it themselves. So we're trying to really, really help them understand that they can do this as well. And once someone believes they can do the thing, it becomes much easier to get them to convert. So that was our main focus. So it was less focused on actual step-by-step what to do and more focused on empowering them to feel confident that they can actually implement the thing. One thing that we also did that worked really well is giveaways. So we had spa day giveaways because this market was nurses, so spa giveaways really resonated with them. We had iPad giveaways, AirPods giveaways. The reason why we did this was just to build more virality, get more people to show up, get them to feel excited, have some winners, and just really, really build that virality so people could share it more, people could join more, people could show up more, and so on and so forth. And then we had a guarantee on the offer. So this is one thing that I feel most people do not do as well. And it's just a really easy thing to do because what you will notice is that if you have a guarantee and let's say one or two people ask back for their money, the increase in conversion rate you would get would definitely supersede the refund you have to give back to the prospect. So this allows it so that you are able to increase your conversion rate if you have a very strong guarantee. And for this client, we add a work with you until you earn your ROI back. So we basically told them if you don't earn back your ROI, we'll continue working with you for free until you do. So technically, this program is actually a lifetime access program. So that's a very easy way to have a guarantee where a program that is already a lifetime access program, if we can reframe that as a 60-day, 90-day program and then tell them you keep working with them for free until they get back the ROI, you already have a guarantee and you didn't have to change anything about your program or make any tweaks to how it was structured and so on and so forth. So it's basically a work with you until you get your results guarantee. And this really, really helped us increase the conversion rate. Some issues that we ran into was deliverability. So for some reason, deliverability during this challenge launch period really sucked. And that really affected us because with all the things we did to increase our show up rate, if our deliverability was on point, our show up rate would have been a lot higher than this. We also ran into limits with GHL because we could not send more than 20,000 SMSs in 24 hours or so. And we're constantly hitting that limit. So this really affected us and people who are supposed to receive the SMSs did not get as much. SMS or as much reminders as they should have gotten. And that's basically the things that I felt like didn't go so well, the deliverability and the GHL, the constant SMS limits that we're getting from GHL. And then finally, the way this challenge was framed, it was framed as a very broad topic. And that's why we got as many leads as possible. So when we do free challenges like this, we like to make the topic as broad as possible that will appeal to as many people in the market as humanly possible. So this is the market of nurses, and we basically said it's a nurse exit plan challenge. So we'll teach them and show them the best way to exit the bedside in 2025. That was basically the hook for the challenge. And that's how we're able to get a lot of leads. We got about 3,000 plus leads. So now we can now follow up with these prospects, engage them, warm them up, and now continue to reach out to them to convert them in either the next challenge or on other offers that the client has. So we made it as broad as possible to attract as many leads as possible into the ecosystem. If it was a paid challenge, we'll have a different route because people are actually paying for this, and to be much more specific on like a one particular topic or one particular thing. But because it's a free challenge, we try to make the problem as broad as possible to appeal to as many people as possible. That's basically it. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.